Anthropic just leapfrogged OpenAI's valuation at $900 billion with its first profit in sight. NVIDIA, the Pope, and a $45 billion SpaceX deal are also moving the AI tape today. Let's get into it. NVIDIA reported $81.6 billion in quarterly revenue, up 85% year over year, and a record $58.3 billion in profit, up over 200%. Data center alone surged 92% to $75 billion. The board approved an $80 billion buyback and a 25 times dividend hike. Q2 guidance came in at $91 billion, well above consensus. Jensen Huang called demand parabolic and tied it explicitly to agentic AI, semi-autonomous models that consume orders of magnitude more inference compute than chatbots. That reframes the entire build-out from one-time training capex to recurring inference revenue. The bear case. The stock dropped 1.3% after hours, despite the beat. The bar is now extraordinarily high. Any hyperscaler capex deceleration cracks the trade. The forward signal. If next quarter's data center print clears $85 billion, the agentic thesis extends to Broadcom and TSMC. Below 78, the AI capex peak debate reignites. Anthropic just leapfrogged OpenAI's valuation for the first time. The company disclosed it's on track for its first ever quarterly operating profit, projecting $10.9 billion in Q2 revenue, up 130% quarter over quarter from $4.8 billion in Q1. The closing $30 billion Series G round values Anthropic above $900 billion, surpassing OpenAI's March mark of $852 billion. Annualized revenue runs around $19 billion versus OpenAI's $25 billion. Still behind on top line, but with a far faster growth slope. Crucially, the operating profit milestone removes the burn forever narrative that has hung over every frontier lab. The bear case. $900 billion on a $19 billion run rate is roughly 47 times revenue, priced for continued triple-digit growth that nobody has historically sustained. The forward signal. If Q3 revenue clears $14 billion, the multiple gets defended. Below $12 billion, expect rapid compression, EDOA. On May 25th, Pope Leo the 14th released his first encyclical, Magnifica Humanitas, or Magnificent Humanity, focused on protecting the human person in the age of artificial intelligence. He presented it alongside Anthropic co-founder Christopher Olah. By sharing the stage with one lab specifically, the Vatican issued a deliberate institutional signal. This is the AI company the Church considers a credible partner on safety. That compounds Anthropic's enterprise credibility narrative, just as it goes head-to-head with OpenAI for global enterprise budgets, particularly in regulated verticals like healthcare, education, and government. The timing, same week as the record fundraise we just covered, is no accident. The bear case. Institutional endorsements don't move enterprise procurement. CFOs buy on latency, cost, and capability, not papal approval. The forward signal. Watch for Vatican-aligned diocesan and Catholic University cloud procurements over the next 2 quarters. If those flow, the soft power play is converting to revenue. OpenAI is preparing a confidential S-1 filing with the SEC, with the most likely IPO window in Q4 of this year or early 2027. Annualized revenue has crossed $25 billion. Critically, the company has restructured its exclusive Microsoft partnership. It can now distribute freely across rival clouds, including AWS. This would be the largest tech listing ever attempted, and it would reset the price benchmark for the entire generative AI sector. With Anthropic now valued above OpenAI for the first time, the timing pressure intensifies. OpenAI needs the public market to revalidate its leadership. The bear case, pricing into a tape that just watched Anthropic claim the valuation crown on a smaller revenue base. If the roadshow stalls, the entire AI funding cycle reprices lower. The forward signal, when the S1 unveils publicly, likely Q3, watch the losses line. Wider than $5 billion annually. Expect aggressive IPO pricing pressure. SpaceX's own IPO prospectus disclosed that Anthropic is paying it $1.25 billion every single month through May 2029. A $45 billion contract over 36 months for GPU compute. This is one of the largest single compute commitments ever disclosed. It reframes SpaceX as a serious commercial AI infrastructure player alongside Amazon, Microsoft, and Google, and it diversifies Anthropic's compute away from AWS and Google Cloud dependency. SpaceX is now building or aggregating data center capacity at hyperscaler scale right as it prepares to IPO itself. The bear case, $1.25 billion per month annualizes to $15 billion. Roughly 80% of Anthropic's current run rate revenue. That is an extraordinary CapEx commitment relative to top line. And if model unit economics don't improve faster than compute costs, the math breaks. The forward signal. This contract is exactly the recurring inference demand Jensen Huang flagged in NVIDIA's print this week. Not the exception, but the new norm. The through line today. Anthropic just rewrote the AI hierarchy. Above OpenAI's valuation, blessed by the Vatican, locked into a $45 billion SpaceX compute deal, and inflicting capex on the entire chain. NVIDIA's parabolic print proves the build-out is real. Subscribe for tomorrow's read. I'm Ted, and this is the Daily Alpha.